Hello, people. It's me, back here again, filming another video. Yeah, I told you guys I was gonna do a video like about 2 weeks ago. I had like a poll on like my Instagram, but then my followers kind of chose the option I didn't really want to do. I just tried to pretend like I was giving the people a choice, but then I just really didn't want to do it. So I put up another poll today on my Instagram story, and I just said, you know what, in a couple hours, the thing that has the most votes, I'm just gonna do. And I picked options that I actually would be okay with doing, whichever way people voted. So today I am here to do the pink lemonade eyes that was requested by my followers. Let's get right into it. Some of the palettes I'm going to use today are the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. I'll give you a visual of what this looks like. It has lots of really cool colors. It has like some oranges, pinks, peaches, purples, yellow, all kinds of fabulous colors. I'm going to be using the Ace Beauty Scarlet Dusk palette. Thank you, Aunt Jackie, for the lovely palette that she got me for my birthday. And then, as always, the Jaclyn Hill Volume 1 palette. Oh, it's kind of not showing. There it is. The one palette, I'm in love with my palette. It's really dirty and gross because I've had it for years and I'm obsessed with it. I always go in, there's just some really good blending shades and like the foil color, this like white thing here in the corner. It's just really awesome. I use it all the time for my eyes. So, step one. I actually am not going to do my face makeup first. People who know me and know my makeup know that I always do my face makeup first. But for today's video, I'm going to do my eyes first just because I'm using some very pigmented colors that I know I'm going to want to touch up with afterwards. And like, as you can see, my face is kind of uneven right now. I'm just going to do that last. So I'm going in with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion Original. So after I put on my primer, I'm just going to go in with the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette with the color Perfectionist. Yes, it's called Perfectionist. It's this one right here, 3 from the center. It's a really great transition color. It's a really good base color. It's light, but it's a little bit like peachy orangey, just warm. And it's extremely helpful when you are trying to blend or trying to create just a good first layer for the rest of the colors. So I'm gonna put this on, starting in my crease and warming up the outside of the crease. Then as you slowly get less and less on your brush, bringing it inwards towards the corner of your eye, and then bringing it up towards your eyebrows. My eyebrows are not very high up, so I know for some of you people who have high brow bones, you won't want to bring it all the way up to your eyebrow. I don't even bring it all the way up. I just kind of lightly blend it up towards that area. Ooh, saucy. Warm, cold. Warm, cold. Perfect. Now that I have that first, just thin layer, you don't have to go too crazy, you don't have to make this super dark, just put a thin layer on the crease. I am going to go in with the color, what is that even called? I can't even see. I'm going to go in with Positivity right here. It's a really peachy color, so you're probably wondering why would I do that if I'm going in with pinks, but I really like to extremely warm up my transition area and really just warm up the whole eye look before I go in with my super pigmented pinks, with my super pigmented yellows, with really anything. So I'm gonna go in, get some of my brush, tap a little bit of the excess off, and go in along the outside, but on like the lower part of the crease and also on the outer lid. Really kind of blend that in there. I'm also just using just a straight up like blending brush, like fluffy brush. And then again, as you slowly get less product on the brush, bring it in, up, and out to just give you a more warm, colored feeling. Look, feeling, I don't know. So there we have it. We have that on that eye. Now let's go to the other eye and do like the same exact thing. All right, now that you have that, I'm still taking the same brush, but I'm going to use the shade Love Handles right here. It's another warm, more transition color. It is a little more peachy, but it also kind of helps blend in the yellow tones that I'll be using later and the pinks. And so I'm gonna go in just with love handles, just a little bit on that brush. And I'm going to put this on my upper crease to make that part just a little bit more orangey so that it'll blend my yellows and pinks together better. Just a tiny bit like that. Now I'm going in with a little harder bristled brush that's similar that I like to use on the outside to really get some color, get some really whatever I'm wanting to do on the outer corner going. So now I'm going to pick up a little bit of Lolly Mama right here, and then a little bit of Tipsy Girl also on that brush. And I'm going to kind of stamp it, but kind of just rub it around along the outside of the eye, kind of similar to what we were doing. I make sure it's very pigmented, guys. So definitely be careful as you're putting this on, especially if you are going for a less harsh or a less colorful look. Just make sure you tap off the excess before you do so. Just look at the difference that made right there versus that eye. Just getting this little bit of a darker pink on this brush and doing kind of the same motion and the same technique we were using, it really does just give you a more blended, a more fruity, a more tropical, a more fun look. We have the pinks. You can see we still have a little bit of like a gradient into the inside because we haven't gone too harsh. And that's kind of where we wanted at this point. Now, I'm going to go in with a small, more defined brush. This is like a more round, like small tip brush. And I'm going to stamp on some color. And for that, I'm going to use the color Heart On, which is on this side of the palette. And I'm going to just take some of that on one side of my brush and just stamp that right above the lash line, right on the outer lid. So to give that just a little bit more color, some definition right there. You can go in with as much or as little of this as you want. And obviously you can use really any colors you want to do this look. Pink lemonade, it's just been kind of my vibe lately, so I'm kind of stamping that on just right there on the outside. I'm gonna do that on the other. And now, before you blend out what you stamped on, I'm also going to do a gradient in. I'm going to use the color, I gotta show you everything. I'm picking up, dropping things. I'm going to use the color Positivity again, and I'm also gonna mix with a little bit of Feelin' Myself, which is a pretty orangish color. This is gonna, again, just help me blend into getting that yellow on there on the inner corner. So I'm gonna stamp that towards like the center of my lid. Kind of all over. Again, use as much or as little. Don't be afraid to do this, because if you don't like it, you can always wash it off and try again. This is for fun. Fun. Not to be stressed. Not to be stressed about it. And now I'm going to go back in with Perfectionist and just go right up along my brow again, just to keep that clean and blended. And then I'm also going to go in with that pink shade Lolly Mama just slightly in my crease, because as we're making the lid more pink, you're going to want to adjust your crease so it's not such a stark contrast as you go along. So now I'm going to take this small flat brush and I'm going to take the white in this palette. It's just, oh, did I get my nail on that? I have a little like chip in my pan there. That makes me sad. In the color Certified, which is just a white, I'm going to just simply drag my brush in, get some on there, and go over my inner lid in here to really brighten that up before I use my yellow. Because the brighter you keep this, the better your pigment's going to show up. So I got that on my lid, and I'm dragging this kind of up here, just this whitish pigment, to really keep my eyes open, because if you watched my videos before, I do have small eyes, so I have to be careful about getting too much color on my inner lid, just because it can really close off my eyes and make them look constricted. So you can be very generous with the white, or whatever light color, whatever more skin tone color you want to use. And then just kind of brush that in there. And don't be afraid to brush that down into the corner of your eye, down below. Again, we haven't even done our face makeup yet, so you don't have to worry about getting all the fallout everywhere. And so I did that to just get a little bit of the brightness in there before I go in with the yellow. Which I think I'm at the point where it's yellow time, baby. So I'm taking this like flattish kind of brush. I don't know, it's like flat, but it's kind of fat. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm taking this brush and I'm taking the color, no joke, the giant yellow one in this palette. And I'm going to get a good bit of it on this brush, and I'm going to put it in, starting on the inner of my lid, and drag it out to where I put like the orangey pinks. Again, just kind of stamp that on there. You can go back and add more layers, so don't get frustrated if you're like, this isn't showing up, this isn't the look I want. You can always go back and fix this. You can put on more pink, put on more peach, put on more yellow. This is really an up to you makeup look. It's not blended now, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with that smaller brush again that I used to do the stamping of the pinks on the outside. I'm gonna take a little bit of my peach color and a little bit of my orange color together on the brush, and I'm going to just stamp it in the middle, right where my yellow meets the center of my lid. Go in and just do a little bit of a blend right in there on the lid. So now I'm starting to notice some fallout from the yellow, so I'm just gonna take a big brush and just kind of try to swoop some of that away. And so some of you might be happy right there. Some of you might be like, okay, I have enough yellow. I like only mattes on my eyes. I think I'm done. I think I'm good. But for me, I really like glitters. I love glitters on the inside of my eye. I think they just really do something for me. But I'm going to go into the Jaclyn Hill palette volume 1. If I can open this. And there is this beautiful gold right here on the end. It's my favorite gold I think I've ever had, ever. If I'm ever trying to look for a goldish or a yellowy sparkle, this is where I go. There's nothing else that compares. So I'm just gonna take just a tiny bit on my finger, not that much, and just dab this a little bit on the inside of my lid where the yellow was. Just for me, again, because I wanna make sure I'm completely blended, I'm gonna go back into the Jaclyn Hill 2 palette. I'm gonna take my blending brush, and I'm actually going to take a little bit of the yellow on that big fluffy brush, and I'm actually going to swoop it, not just on my lid, but I'm going to swoop it a little bit up into the pink and into the orange that are in my, not orange, the pink and the peach that are in my crease. Because for me, since my eyes are small, you don't notice my lids as much as you notice my crease sometimes. So I'm just putting it in there to add just a little extra pop. Again, it's unnecessary, but you do what you want. And I'm gonna go in a little with this peachy color. Peach has become kind of my neutral in this because I have harsh pinks and I have harsh yellow. And I'm gonna go right back over my crease with that. So before I do my lower lash, eyes and stuff, I am going to do my base and then I will be back. Hello, I'm back. I probably don't look much different because I don't put on foundation, but I did my little bit of powder foundation like I always do. And then I actually went ahead and did my top mascara. I'm also not putting on falsies today. This would look obviously really amazing if you had falsies. I'm not putting on falsies to sit in my house and do nothing. So that's just why my eyelashes are kind of looking kind of wimpy, and that's just fine. That'll just have to be okay with everyone. So now I'm going to go in with just a thin like brush. It's kind of longer, just something that like will just brush on stuff, not too defined, but not like a huge fluffy brush. And I'm going to go in with the Positivity Peachy shade we used, the Lolly Mama Pinky shade I used, and I'm going to take some of that, tap off the excess, and go in on the outside of under my eye and kind of swoop it down a little bit towards my lower eye to kind of blend it out. And that's where this brush is great because you can just take it and blend it up and out, up and out. And so it winds up looking cute if I say so myself. Now on the inside of this, see that? Ooh. Fierce. So now I'm gonna go in with my yellow shade right there on my brush, and I'm gonna go in starting from the center, blend it into the pink, and bring it all the way to the corner of my eye. Like this, because we're really going for the pink lemonade. Look, like yellows, pinks, all kind of mismatched into one. So I'm gonna put a good bit on there. Oh, and it didn't. I didn't put enough of that white kind of skin color on there. So for me, it's not showing up as well. So just layer on as much or as little as you want. If you want it to be more yellow, or if you want to be more pink, or honestly, if you don't even want to do this step, you don't have to. It's something that I like because it helps blend in the top and the bottom really well. So then once I have my yellow and pink on the underneath, I like to go in with a bright color for the inside to make my eyes pop. So this is where the Jaclyn Hill 1 palette comes in, and this white shade that's all the way on the top left. Literally all I do, and this is what I do for every makeup look, is I take just a little bit of my finger like that, and I just dab it. So now once you do that, go in with like a fluffy brush, and make sure you wipe to get any excess you have in places you don't want. And the last thing I'm going to do is put on my lip. Well, this is empty. I hope you guys really enjoyed this look. I really enjoyed doing it for you guys. I really like just experimenting with color. I also like just stepping outside of my comfort zone. I know I love doing colors, but if you guys have any kind of video suggestions, Q&A, a get ready with me, really anything, maybe a vlog possibly coming soon, people will be interested in watching that, please let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe. I really want to know what you guys think and know how I can improve and how I can make videos catered to what you guys actually want to watch. So peace out, guys. See you next time.